to start asking a question. When you answer, just think about it a little bit. How much meat have you guys eaten in the last day or in the last week? Meat's one of the highest energy proteins available for your daily health. And the USDA recommended protein intake for men is 56 grams and for women is 43 grams per day. Yet if you look at the actual data from the United Nations Agriculture and Organization, in 2013, the average American consumed 6 times that amount, over 300 grams. This works out to about 250 pounds of meat per person per day. Now that's not just unsustainable, that's a health issue as well. Meat has been known to increase heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. Now, what are the costs for overconsumption of meat? There's financial costs, and there's environmental costs. And these affect everybody on a global scale. Now, the idea for this was sparked by a YouTube video I watched a couple months ago about the hidden costs of meat production. And it caused me to dig deeper and see what the environmental costs as well as the financial costs of this is. So that's what we're talking about today. How to reduce our consumption of meat in an effort to combat climate change and increase health. First, like I said, I'm going to talk about the financial and environmental costs, and then show some simple solutions that we can do personally and collectively to help solve this issue. And then finally, I'll show you what it looks like if some of the ideas are put into practice. Now, worldwide subsidies for the animal food supply system is $52 billion a year. And what this does is it artificially decreases the cost of meat, resulting in increase in consumption and spending. And there's also a correlation between higher income countries and the amount of meat they consume. The United States alone eats 40 million tons of meat per year. China, one of the fastest rising economies in the world, eats twice that amount, 82 million tons of meat per year. Now with the subsidies to raise the land, to raise livestock for this, results in massive deforestation, especially in the rainforest. 70% of all deforestation is related to the creation of agriculture for the farm supply system. 1/3 of the entire planet is 1/3 of the entire arable land of the planet is used to raise feed for animals. And what they do is, especially in the rainforest, they slash and burn to create the cropland for the animal feed. Once the nutrients have been depleted from the crops, they turn into pasture lands. Once the pasture lands for livestock have been depleted, there's nothing left. There's complete wasteland, and the rainforest will grow there again. And what this also does is it also creates a massive loss of biodiversity that's key for different environments around the world. 30% of all biodiversity loss is due to animal feed supply system. These are thousands of species of plants and animals that are extinct and gone forever, and their secrets are lost to us. Now, speaking of the land use, especially for raising livestock, cows are one of the most least efficient methods of raising meat. They require massive amounts of land to be raised, 1 meter square per cow, and compared to pigs and chickens, which are more efficient methods of raising animals. And speaking of cows, 1 kilogram of meat requires 25 kilograms of feed, 15,000 liters of water for 1 kilogram of meat. And of all the energy that's put in regards to protein and calories, 96% of that is lost in the raising of the cow. Only 4% is converted to meat. Completely inefficient. So these are big problems. It's a global issue, and it may feel overwhelming, but there are solutions that we can do to solve this. The simplest and easiest one is to reduce our intake. Eating less meat, substituting different kinds of meat, looking at meat-free alternatives for protein intake. Simplest way to do this is to consider going 1 day a week of going meat-free. That's only 4 days a month, only less than 50 days an entire year of attempting to be free. And if everyone attempted this, it would have a big impact on the demand of meat. There's also financial and policy changes we can enact. We can work on adding fat taxes to our local policies that would increase the price of meat and will help to artificially raise the price and decrease demand for the meat. Now, what would it look like if we implement some of these ideas? Well, less demand means less agriculture being used to raise crops and livestock, which means less deforestation of the planet, which also means less biodiversity loss, increase in sustainability, and possibly a slowdown to climate change to help us find long-term solutions to our problems. We also result in healthier people. Reduced consumption of meat decreases the chance of heart disease and obesity. Now, I throw a lot of statistics at you, and it may seem overwhelming, but solution starts with each of us. We can each play a small part to make a change for the global good. So consider going 1 day a week without meat to help yourself, to save your arteries, and to save the world. Thank you.